Our next speaker is someone that I have known for a really long time, actually. I grew up going to the same church as her, and she is outliving all of my dreams as a person. She's one of the most inspiring people I've ever met. Michelle is the executive director of the Humble Co-op in Dresden, Ohio. She and her husband, Jeff, homeschool their 5 children and live on a farm. She teaches over 100 different art classes and specializes in fiber arts and lost arts. She and her family have started 2 community gardens. They host bi-weekly community potlucks, and they travel together in their 40-foot school bus to farmers markets and events to teach classes and network with the community. She's on the Coshocton Prison Reentry Coalition Board, and her family spends most of their time serving at their co-op, working on the farm, and serving in their 3 churches that her husband is the pastor of. So please give a warm welcome to Michelle Chapin.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me? I actually felt exhausted just hearing that intro made me want to go home and take a nap. So anyways, I am so happy to be here, and honestly, I don't know any of the speakers here today, and I've never been to this conference, but when I was praying about what I thought, this is an opportunity in front of me, and it's not about me. I just sat in prayer and said, okay, God, I'm going to be in front of all these new people. What would you like me to share? And the really cool thing is, every person that has come before me, I was like, I was going to say that. And it just shows me that all of these speakers have been in prayer, and you are the people to hear this message today. And this message is so encouraging, and it's for everyone. We live in Coshocton, which is an hour east of Columbus, and we serve a low-income community. We also have a lot of people that come out from all over, from Columbus, from about an hour radius of Coshocton. And so I really love sharing with people in low-income communities about how everyone is welcome to the table with creativity, with art, with sharing, community. If you have $0 in your bank account, you're just as qualified as someone. And sometimes I actually feel like in my own instance, having 5 kids and low income ourselves, my creativity comes out most when we have nothing. When I have to pull something awesome from scraps around, when I have to gather others together and just ask for help. So yeah, we're going to be talking about creative community building, using your gifts as a bridge for connection. And that is what I have heard. Everyone here is going to listen to the different speakers and hear something different. And this is what I've been hearing from everyone. I have been hearing that that God has been leading you guys to use your creative gifts in sharing with others to build the kingdom of God, to connect in your community. Yes, as Faith shared, we have 5 children. We're in Dresden. We serve in our community center, where we serve as a homeschool co-op. We have community gardens. This is our barn classroom up here. We teach farm classes. We host community potlucks every other week. And I kind of feel like we're the church of the misfits out there. At our community potluck on Sundays, we host a group of people. We've hosted a group of people for about 5 years every other week, and it is mostly people that have been in church and no longer go to church and feel that they do not have a place in the church. And so we now work for 3 churches in the community, but I often feel that little community potluck is more church to us than all the churches that we've been to, because it's where you can kind of get real and raw and ask hard questions and you can say all the things that maybe you wouldn't feel comfortable, saying in a church setting. So as we've been serving in this community, the little country churches around us have been seeing, they are shrinking. There's not a lot of people getting up and going to church on Sunday morning, and they are struggling to find volunteers for all the things that they're doing. And then they see us little ragamuffins out, out in our school bus and our, crazy clothes and, making art and having outdoor concerts and planting gardens, and we give everything away for free. We don't make a profit. This is my full-time job, and it's all volunteer. And they just are looking at us like, that's so weird. But they're like, that's so weird, but it actually looks like what the kingdom of God should look like, or could look like. And it's going to be different for everyone, but I come here today just having a Mod Podge of things that we do, and I'm really just here, I feel like, to encourage you, honestly. I just don't think we even realize the miracle it is that we got up this morning and made it here. I mean, trying to get out with our 5 kids, and there's chickens on our porch, and trying to drive an hour away. And I'm sure that that's our own unique situation, but I'm sure everyone woke up this morning and said, do I really want to go to that conference today? Because I actually would rather just rest or get my house clean or do something. So the fact that you guys actually made it out the door, got here, are seated here, it's really amazing. And I just feel like I just want to be here to encourage you, honestly. I feel like I have nothing really to teach you except for just to share with you guys that you already have everything that you need. And honestly, so we have these community garden t-shirts. By the way, everything I'm saying was not even on my actual prepared speech today. But I am just someone who, if God tells me to do something, if someone goes a week without talking to us, they call us scared, what are you guys doing now? Because if God tells us to do something, we're doing a whole other thing. So my prayer this morning was that, whatever comes out of my mouth, hopefully God's going to use it for someone here. But anyways, so let's see here. So yeah, you guys have said this before up here that, our creativity is used as a bridge or a connector to others. And when I was praying, I teach a lot of fiber arts classes. I teach a retreat called Fiber Sisters Retreat. And we raise sheep and we shear the sheep and use the raw, dirty wool. We process it, we card it, we pick it, we clean it, we spin it into yarn, and then weave it into art, into textile. And I'm so obsessed with it, and I do so many different fiber arts classes. And one day I was just like, God, why am I so obsessed with this specific art form? Because we teach in our co-op over 100 different art classes, but I could just teach fiber arts every day. And I was just like, what is the importance of this? Why am I so obsessed with it? And God spoke to me very clearly that that's just the tool that you need to connect with the people who are going to need to connect with you. The people that I need you to connect with are going to be interested in that, but then they're going to connect with you and soon find out it has nothing to do with the fiber arts. And so when people come into our Fiber Sisters retreats, they'll come in from out of state. And I'll say, I feel really bad for you guys because you traveled from out of state and you couldn't find anyone else teaching these classes where you are, but you really didn't come here for the fiber arts, because what's going to happen, because this happens every time, is you're going to get in your car and go home, and you're not going to think about the fiber arts. You're going to think about that you were there and you felt seen, that you were in this intimate group of people that have a similar interest, and they're all so different, but we're all the same. And you were able to sit and have a whole day of just working with your hands, working with textiles, and sharing stories. And you're listening to other stories. you're listening, but you're also feeling seen because we're in this intimate group. And I really do think that we were designed in a way to, in community, working with our hands and listening and talking. Like, this is how our grandmothers, when they didn't have Facebook, knew how to pray. That's how they knew how to pray for so-and-so's grandson, because they were in a quilt circle and they're working with their hands, and it's not really about the quilt. They're just trying to get together and gossip and spill the tea, and but they're sitting there, and that's how, like, this. I feel like this world is, being lifted up. I just see this like spider web that is the prayers of our grandmothers, and it all happened from them sitting around, quilt circles and different things, like working with their hands and listening to stories and asking for prayer and giving prayer. So back to, I kind of interrupted myself. We run this community garden, and our T-shirts, our logo is "Starve the system, feed the people." And to us, what that means is, look around. What is the system doing to us? It seems like social media, and yes, I do believe social media can be a tool or a weapon. I can absolutely see, I use it as a tool as well, but these systems that our culture is putting in place to supposedly connect us and create community is actually very divisive, okay? And everything we do, when you actually think about it, it's like almost everything we do, we have the mindset of either what can this do for us or how can I make a profit off of it. And my goal with our community gardens is we grow, hundreds of pounds of food, and we give it all. We give it all for free. And I just feel like, what would happen if we were all growing gardens, these little gardens, and giving it all away for free? What would that look like? We're in really desperate times right now, and the time, like, when we just give things away for free, we're not losing out on anything. Like, we're going to be provided for. If God is calling you to serve, He's going to give that provision and take care of you. Let's see here. So yes, again, I guess, I just want to encourage everyone here. It's so great to get together and think about, how are you going to grow your businesses? We need to support ourselves and our families. Like, how are we going to do these things? But to be honest, I feel like all these gifts that God is giving us, if we all just came together and we were just abundantly giving it away, we would all be taken care of. It's like, when just the only reason I found out about this conference is because we were praying about how can we get young adults in the door at our co-op. We love to have a multi-generational group of people, and but we have babies to 90-year-olds, but we're missing the 20-year-olds. And then I was praying about it one day. I was like, how do we get the 20-year-olds in the door? And God was like, you tell them it's free. And not only do you tell them it's free, but you say, and there's food. There's food and it's free. And guess who shows up? Faith Slagle, who introduced me today. And then I get a message from Jeremy, and he's like, thank you. And what it was just an art circle. I just said, let's sit in a circle, bring your project you're working on. Every single person brought a different project. Faith brought her computer, and she was working on graphic design. There were people, painting and working on photography, and I had my loom. I was weaving, and we were sharing stories, and it's those kind of things that really make an impact. And then look, we're here now, and when you make those connections, it just keeps growing, and it's just, God is so abundant, and we really just need to tap into that service, that we get to experience abundance when we are just serving and giving without ourselves in mind, without the profit in mind for what can I get. Because guess what? when you serve and give and engage with people and see people, you're going to get far more in return that you could ever buy or try to do yourself. So my time is running up here. So I just wrote, I know that these aren't going to apply to everyone. These are just some ideas. Like, you guys are creative people. You don't need my ideas. You guys are like, these are just like things that we've done, but you guys are creatives. Like, you're gonna go away and I'm gonna go hear about like 100 different things that you guys were doing in your community that's like far better than anything I could think of. And it's gonna fit your community. It's gonna fit the people that are around you guys. So just like things that we've done, clothing swap, art swap, book swap. I mean, things that are free. These are just things that are gonna draw people in and are accessible to everyone. And some of you guys have already mentioned some of these things today, like meeting at the coffee shops and brainstorming, things like that. I have 38 seconds. We just helped somebody else develop a co-op like ours in Granville, and we said, come, bring your ideas, and we're going to trade them for books. We got people to donate hundreds of books, and we said, come, give us your ideas. What do you want to see in the community? So they wrote on pieces of paper all the things they want to see in our community and put them up on a board, and we gave them books for free. And then all of a sudden, they have a community center now. This is in Granville. It's called the Creative Co-op. And so I just, I'll end. I have 6 seconds. Hold on, let me pause that. Okay, this is gonna hold on. Okay, so what I'm giving to you guys, I have one more thing. So basically, I'm just like throwing you guys seeds from the fruits that we have seen in growing our community, that God has grown. I've brought the seeds. We've dried them. I have them. I'm giving them to you guys. But it's not us. It's you guys go to the fertile soil. You guys go to the fertile land where God has planted you, and you plant those seeds and watch what God does. And my prayer for you guys is that God's going to just like grow these amazing things, and then you guys can share those seeds. And it's not about us. God does it all. Like, what are we doing? We're just showing up and loving people and seeing people. So bless you guys. Thank you.
All right, we're going to do a Q&A with Michelle, so please send in your questions. Scan that QR code. All right, we have one already. The first question is, you minister to folks who aren't currently attending a church. How could or does the work you do help get churches to think differently about creativity and community?
Okay, so we have been serving in this Sunday community potluck, and it is full of people that are hungry for God. They're just starved. They want to discuss the Bible. They want to ask hard questions that they feel like they got almost shunned from asking them in church. And these are our brothers and sisters. And so by opening up our space and letting these people have a safe place to just tell their messy stories, to just pray with people, just to welcome anyone in. I also serve on the Prison Reentry Coalition in Coshocton, and we've had people that are, getting sober, that are, that have come out of prison come in, and they say, this is the first place that I've walked in the doors and I have felt seen. When I walk into a space, everyone scoots the other way. When I go into a space, people look the other way and don't look at me. So we've been hired by these 3 churches in Coshocton, and we're sitting down and having really hard conversations with them and saying, there's a desperate need. You're wondering why people aren't coming into the doors, but you need to get down and learn how to open the doors wider. Like, I think that your doors are open, but they're open this big, but you need to open them wider and hear what the community needs and be open to the hurting people in our culture.
Another one is, how do you remain faithful and peaceful and trusting God to provide financially for your co-op and also in your own personal life?
I will tell you guys, at the end of the month, it costs thousands of dollars, a couple thousand just for the co-op to keep the doors open every month. And we pretty much start every month at 0. And the night before we pay the bills, I'll have like $300 left to pay. And people will message us and say, my husband and I looked at each other, and at the same time, God was like, Venmo them $100. And we have, in 6 years, we have never missed one bill. By the morning of, it's paid.
A lot of us already feel like we have no time to add anything to our schedules. What would you recommend we do to make time to build community in this way?
You know what? I say no more than I say yes. Everyone, and this is true, I have a crazy, like, we do a lot. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, we're going all the time. But the thing is, I'm actually saying no to more, and I'm saying no to good things. Most of the things I say no to are good. And so I think you really just have to take a look at what are your priorities, what are you, and then asking, what kind of life and what kind of lifestyle am I actually trying to cultivate? And everything I'm saying yes to, is that actually fitting into what God is calling me to cultivate in my life?
If you have other questions, we do have a little bit more time, so you can submit them. But it did crack me up when you were saying that, like, you guys were praying for how to get people my age in. And I had been following your social media for a very long time. I drool over your social media feed. It's gorgeous. If you don't follow her, go follow her. It's the most amazing thing you've ever seen. And that came at a very dark time for me. And just being able to go be with all of you people and just create, it was just such a joyful experience. And I loved it, and I had so much fun.
Wow.
So if you guys have the ability to go out to one of her workshops, it's just such an amazing experience, the kindest people. Yeah.
Thank you.